The worst moment to buy most golf clubs is exactly when the company tells you they're revolutionary. That's when the price is highest, the marketing is loudest. The tour players are all holding the new model on the range, and every ad, every YouTube review, every golf shop display is telling the same story. This club is finally the one that changes everything. The timing is engineered to feel urgent. The window feels narrow. You either get it now or you fall behind. But here's what almost nobody says out loud. In golf, performance doesn't disappear when the next model launches. Only the hype does. The technology you're paying a premium for on launch day is often the same technology you could have bought for 40% less if you'd waited 8 months. The same head, the same face, the same shaft options. The difference isn't the club. The difference is where you stood in the marketing cycle. And most golfers have felt this. You buy a driver in January. By August, it's on clearance. By the following spring, you see the exact same model in excellent condition on the used market for less than half what you paid. The performance didn't age. The story did. What nobody tells you is that this doesn't happen randomly. It follows patterns. Certain categories of clubs lose money faster than they lose performance. Others hold their playability long after their price collapses. The golfer who understands those patterns doesn't stop buying good equipment. They just stop buying it at the worst possible moment. By the end of this video, you'll know which 7 golf clubs you should stop buying brand new, which 5 you should almost always buy used, and how to let someone else pay the launch day tax while you walk away with nearly the same performance for a fraction of the price. This isn't about being cheap. It's about understanding when new stops mattering. This channel is where those patterns get mapped. Subscribe now. The next video goes even further into how the equipment market actually works. Let's start at the bottom of the list and work toward the category that costs golfers the most money every single year. Number 7. Complete boxed sets with premium packaging. These sets look like a full solution: driver, fairway, hybrid, irons, wedge, putter, bag, everything matching, everything new. But most box sets at mid to high price points aren't built for longevity. The shafts are generic, the heads are designed to look complete rather than perform precisely, and the moment a golfer starts improving, the set becomes a collection of trade-in problems. Buy one new and you've paid retail for equipment you'll outgrow before you've learned to use it properly. Number 6. Premium wedges purchased without fitting. Wedge grooves do wear down. That's a real reason to sometimes buy new. But the problem isn't whether the wedge is new or used. It's whether the bounce and grind match how you actually contact the turf. Vokey, MG, RTX, Jaws, these are excellent wedges. But buying one because it's popular, without understanding whether the grind fits your swing, is an expensive way to hit the same fat chip you were hitting before. Number 5. Premium milled putters bought at launch price. Putting performance is driven by length, lie, angle, loft, toe hang, face balance, and alignment. None of those change significantly from one model year to the next. The milling process that produces a Scotty Cameron, a Bettinardi, a Toulon doesn't suddenly improve so dramatically that last year's version becomes inferior. The price drops because the story changes, not because the role changes. Number 4. Player distance irons at full retail. The technology is impressive: hollow bodies, thin faces, tungsten weighting, but it depreciates quickly as each new generation resets the price point. A set that cost $600 new 2 years ago might now be available in excellent condition for under $300. The performance gap between those two sets, for a mid-handicap amateur, is almost certainly smaller than the price gap. Number 3. Hybrids from major brands at launch pricing. Hybrids have one job: fill the distance gap that long irons can't cover, launch high enough to hold greens, and do it consistently. The technology that accomplishes this has been refined well enough that 2 or 3 generations back still delivers most of what a current model delivers. The right hybrid is not the newest rescue club. It is the one that rescues the distance gap you actually have. Number 2. Premium fairway woods at full retail price. Fairway woods are extremely difficult to fit without hitting them from the turf in real conditions. Many golfers buy a new 3-wood, hit it beautifully off a simulator mat, and discover they can't use it from a tight lie on an actual fairway. That's a $400 mistake that could have been avoided by testing a used model first. A brand new fairway wood you cannot launch from the turf is not a weapon. It is an expensive head cover holder. Number 1. Flagship drivers on launch day. This is where the most money is lost, most consistently by the most golfers. TaylorMade, Callaway, Titleist, Ping, Cobra. These companies make genuinely excellent drivers. The problem is not the product. The problem is the moment. On launch day, you are paying the highest price that driver will ever cost. Studies from independent testing consistently show that distance differences between a current flagship and a model from 2 or 3 years prior, for golfers with swing speeds under 100 miles per hour, are often within the margin of normal shot variation. Buying a flagship driver on launch day means paying the most money for the least proven difference. Here is the thing worth understanding before we move to the other side of this list. None of these clubs are bad. That is precisely why buying them used works. The performance survives much longer than the price does. Someone else pays the launch premium and absorbs the first wave of depreciation. You buy the club after the story expires and the performance remains. Here is what knowing this pattern is worth and what it still cannot do on its own. It can show you which clubs to stop buying new. It cannot walk you through every slot in your bag and tell you which specific variables to prioritize in each category based on your actual game. That complete framework is what the Smart Bag Blueprint was built for. It covers all 14 clubs across 7 equipment categories, giving you the decision criteria for each slot so the next purchase, new or used, is based on fit, not timing. Golfers who go through it describe walking into a pro shop or the used market and finally knowing exactly what they are looking for, not browsing, not hoping, but evaluating with criteria that hold up. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. Scan the QR code on screen now if you are watching on TV. Go to thesmartbagblueprint.com now and stop letting the marketing cycle make your decisions for you. Now let's talk about where the real value lies. Number 5. Component and custom builds from brands without tour marketing. Maltby, Sub 70, Wishon, Ben Hogan. The engineering behind these clubs is serious, and the specifications are often more precise than what you'd find in a mass market set at the same price point. When you buy a used component build, you're paying for the club itself. No logo tax, no launch event, no tour validation markup. Used component golf is where golfers who understand numbers consistently beat golfers who only follow names. The specs are the product. The logo is not. Number 4. Fairway woods and hybrids used, with the right shaft. A significant number of fairway woods and hybrids end up for sale in excellent condition because the original buyer purchased without fitting, struggled with the club, and moved on quickly. The used market in these categories frequently has nearly new equipment at dramatically reduced prices. The key is not buying purely on price. A used fairway wood with the wrong shaft weight or the wrong loft for your swing speed is still the wrong club. But one that matches your numbers can be one of the smartest purchases you make. The best used fairway wood is not the cheapest one. It is the one somebody else gave up on before realizing it might fit you precisely. Number 3. Forged and cavity back irons from proven manufacturers. Mizuno, Strixon, Ping, Titleist, Wilson Staff, Cleveland, these companies build irons that hold up. When forged irons are properly maintained, the face stays consistent, the feel remains, and the playability doesn't degrade meaningfully over years of normal use. What you need to verify before buying: face condition, groove sharpness, shaft integrity, lie angles, and grip condition. Good irons age slowly when they were built well in the first place. You have watched 7 clubs you should stop buying new and 3 of the 5 you should almost always buy used. The other half of this framework is knowing exactly what specs to look for when you find one. The Smart Bag Blueprint maps that across all 14 clubs and 7 equipment categories. So when you find a used set of forged irons or a previous generation driver at the right price, you know in seconds whether it fits your numbers. Golfers who go through it describe never making an uninformed equipment decision again, because the framework travels with them to every pro shop, every used listing, every upgrade conversation. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. The QR code is on screen right now. Go to thesmartbagblueprint.com. Now, Lychee, the next smart purchase starts with knowing what smart looks like. Number 2. Classic putters in verified good condition. The principles of a well-made putter were understood decades ago and haven't fundamentally changed. A ping answer from 10 years ago still rolls the ball. A classic Odyssey 2 ball, a Cleveland milled putter, a quality Wilson staff blade. Any of these in good condition can outperform a new release that doesn't fit your stroke. A good used putter is not old technology. It is a finished argument. Number 1. Drivers from 2 to 3 generations back. A flagship driver that launched at $550 2 years ago might now be available in excellent condition for $220. The face hasn't slowed down. The adjustable hosel still works. The shaft is still the same shaft. What changed is that a new story replaced the old one in the marketing cycle. Here is the comparison that makes this concrete. 2 golfers. Same handicap, same swing speed, same course. One buys the current flagship on launch week for $549. The other finds the previous generation in excellent condition for $230, spends $50 getting the loft and lie verified by a fitter, and plays $280 total. Independent testing repeatedly shows the distance difference between consecutive driver generations, for golfers swinging under 100 miles per hour, is typically within 2 to 4 yards, well inside the variation created by strike location on the face. The first golfer paid for the most expensive week of that driver's life. The second golfer paid for the performance after the story got old. The club is the same club. The only thing that changed was the calendar. The smartest driver in golf is often the one that stopped being advertised before it stopped performing. If any club on this list is sitting in your bag right now, new or used, drop it in the comments and tell me which one. Hit like if this changed how you think about your next purchase. And subscribe if you are not already in, because the next video goes even further into what the equipment market prefers you never figure out. Before buying a used driver, check these things. Face condition, look for strike marks that have distorted the surface, not just normal wear. Crown cracks or paint damage that extends to the body. Adapter integrity if the shaft is removable. Shaft condition near the hosel. And if you are buying online, filter for condition grades from reputable sources, Second Swing, Global Golf, Callaway pre-owned, rather than trusting a private sale photo taken in poor lighting. Used clubs are not for golfers who cannot afford new. Used clubs are for golfers who understand when new stops mattering. Golf companies profit from urgency. Smart golfers profit from patience. Send this to the golfer in your group who just paid full retail for a driver that will be on clearance in 6 months, the one you thought of right now. Subscribe before you go. The next video goes deeper into how these patterns play out across every category in the bag, and you will want it before your next equipment decision. The golfer who understands the marketing cycle never pays for the most expensive week of a club's life again. That is who this channel is built for.